Hello everybody, my name is Casey Francis O'Brien, and I have mental health issues. I have a lot of trauma, and I've had a brain injury. I've worked very hard since to make it happen for myself. I left home, I went to college, I came back, COVID happened, and it just got worse. It's a battle that I'm going to be fighting for the rest of my life. I've solved by walking and living in nature. But I also did get a car, DoorDash, go to a big city, and start making songs, or start bringing the songs that I had already made to life and evolving and growing and making art and just living in the art as an escape from what was going on inside. The car accident that gave me a brain injury did kill an unborn child. That was close to term. So it was like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and I lost everything, and I just fought for years to save the world, basically. Like, I had this big idea that if I could figure out what's healing my brain injury and helping my mind, and I show it to the world, then we get a bunch of people invested in biological evolution by fasting, sunlight, probiotics. I thought if I could just teach the world that and make the world better, we could all work together to save our money. And I wish I had done, I would just get crippling anxiety and I'd fall over and I'd panic and be shaking like pretty much epileptic for hours, like sometimes up to 12 hours alone in that Section 8 apartment. And the only people around were, I don't know if you know this, but Vermont has no real housing. So I was stuck with the worst people, people that you don't want walking the street were my neighbors. And I was there with a brain injury, so I was dodging pedophiles every day, trying to take advantage of that brain injury when I was 19. So it messed me up, and I just got in my car and I DoorDashed until my car got stolen, and I lived in a tent through a winter, just huddled in the tent, warming myself up. I did fight. I've been in 3 or 4 fights, and I've killed one person in self-defense out there, living out here in the woods. So I say that because I don't ask for help, usually. Usually I will be so determined that I will go to the ends of the earth, fighting every day to make a vision happen. But it's just so much has happened in the past couple months that I feel like I've gotten the help I need, in a sense that it's not like I need a rehabilitation center. I don't do drugs. But I'm saying that I'm worried that, with World War III, artificial intelligence taking over, and this new consciousness revolution where society's not doing well. I don't know if you guys have been around lately. If you take time in the woods for 2 weeks, I swear to God, take 2 weeks by yourself in the woods, eating healthy and exercising regularly, cutting off phone time, and you come back into society, it's not, people have lost their sanity, and the things that they're focusing on is misguided. It's almost like the freedom that you get in the woods. Personally, it feels like the freedom that me and the people that I know get in the woods, when they go into society, it's almost like half the people are just designed to try to take that away from you. And with me, with trauma, history of having to kill to defend myself, it was like my life or theirs against meth heads and neo-Nazis that have gone deranged from lack of social conditioning, because this small town has enabled their delusional mind. You feel me? That happens. So after that happened, the small town my car broke down in, and I killed a neo-Nazi on meth in self-defense that just charged me at a laundromat one night. Now the small town won't I've applied to every job on Indeed multiple times, and I've walked into every place, and they treated me like a pest. Nobody wants me around, and then eventually it got so bad that people were throwing shit at my car. I heard that the guy's friends were trying to pay people around town to kill me with a silencer, and they brought them to my car when I was sleeping and showed them how to do it and when to do it. So I could have died many times. I eventually escaped by going into the woods because it got so bad I felt like I lost everything. I lost my mind, I lost all the spiritual energy I felt I had, I lost all this ego and sense of accomplishment because I did DoorDash and go make music, and I did work, and I went on stage and performed, and I made my best songs that when I play it, it heals my depression, and it puts me back to like this elevated state of mind that I worked for years to achieve. And I'm really, because of what happened, I lost the girl I was talking to because I seemed crazy and I didn't have money. I couldn't find work because my car broke down, and I DoorDashed and no one here would hire me. I don't really have anyone in my corner at all. So I went into the woods and I started a YouTube channel. I had a YouTube channel, but I really got into it. I really focused on it. So I'm at 77 subscribers. Yay. So I'm asking for anything really. I'm gonna drop a GoFundMe here. I don't expect anything in return. I just know there's a lot of people here. And if all of you drop me $1 on Cash App, I could be able to get out of this small town. I could get a car. I could get around. I could fix my computer and start pumping out my music and making content, because that's all I want to do. It's all I've been thinking about for years. And I think I'm really good at it. Then I could maybe definitely get a gym membership, get buff as fuck, become like a role model, make the content. I have TV shows I've written with my cousin who has lived in Section 8 his whole life, and he dropped out of school and he spent 10 years just absorbing art and then creating it, and he's very talented. He's as stubborn as I am though, so he won't let me buy him a computer. He has to go to work at the dollar store and buy his own computer. So it's taken him longer to get there, and I have to fight. I have to push my boulder up the mountain. So I thought maybe I'm in groups in Discord that if I had the resources, I could start Forex trading, and they do live trade, so I could just watch him do it, make some money that way, have a setup. I'm very frugal with the money. Like I've gotten $160 so far in donations. And I've kept it. So I would use that, and I would be very careful with it, and I'd hope to get an RV, get some type of, maybe a boat, get a nice camera, get all these talented artists that I know together, and start in Vermont, where there's not really a creative space. The people here are not very talented, but the people that are don't have the money for it or the resources. So I could start a movement very quickly, and I could get YouTubers involved like Will Survives and a bunch of people, and I could set up, the castle, and I could start being a force of positive change in the community. Because I am very competent. My issues come from being locked in tight spaces. When I go into work and there's so many people around, and I can feel the emotions bouncing off each other, and I can feel like my brain doesn't process status anymore. It just feels like it feels like my mind has to make this high-pitched note that holds over everybody, or else I feel like I'm dominated by their personalities. And I used to be able to move with grace and act and make it work, and I had mentors, but now it's just I'm reverted to an animal. it like gets me, and then my traumas get me, and then I regress to when I was living out in the woods by myself and living on the street, not doing drugs, but with a brain injury and having to fight for my life. So like I go into the McDonald's and I can see these kids that don't understand what they're doing, and they're trying to be masculine or whatever they see on TikTok, and they try to check me, and it like crosses my wires. So I know I'm technically disabled, but I also know that how to make art, and I make art that if I go to like a high school party at Oak Ledge Park in Burlington, and I find like a girl that's sitting there and I ask her to listen to it, she cries. Like like I know that I can do it. I'm just waiting, and I felt degraded so much that I've become this person, when before I had like this charisma and art, a whole style to myself. So I'm just asking for help with the safety net. Help me get to a place where I can move around and I'm not trapped, and I can get food when I need to get food. I can get to the store and back, and I can start working on compounding my money slowly, and I can start working on having enjoyable experiences while the world is basically ending. Like, so many people are dying overseas, and artificial intelligence is coming out heavily, and people are saying there's not really much time left to enjoy creation, because artificial intelligence will make it so easy that it will evolve to a point that it's very pay to win. You're gonna have to have a lot of money, because there'll be like a class divide, or we'll all just ascend to some type of higher form of being with the access to artificial intelligence, where Earth is just like a bed. When you go to bed at night, that's what this world will be, and the rest is just in our minds. So all that aside, like, if anybody has anything that could help me, right now I'm living in a tent in the woods. I definitely have Lyme disease. I can't get warm. It's like I'm wearing a fucking vest and a hoodie, and the sun is out. It's the middle of summer, but there's a butterfly here, and he's flying around me. So I'll probably put together a better edited video, and I'll try again in a couple weeks. But this is just like a preliminary. If anybody has anything that they could help with, like, even if it's like solar panels or a portable power station, or someone that could fix my computer, stuff like that. And I'm slowly working towards building a movement that will. My name means an ancient everlasting tree of life that traveled from ancient Egypt to Ireland. And my last name is O'Brien, which is the most Irish name. The most badass Irish name, because it descended from giants who fought their entire lives to free people from slavery. And my middle name is Francis, which means free. So I'm here